Welcome back to Banished Chunk Ironman, where I can only level up 5 times per chunk before I am banished and must roll a new chunk to train in. So far I haven't had a clear goal in mind, but that changes this episode as you'll see. Without further ado, it's time to roll a new chunk. Of course, this chunk is the start of the Vampire Slayer quest, so I talked to Morgan and grabbed the garlic from his upstairs cupboard. But speaking of slaying, Spiria the Slayer Master is here, and if I complete the quest, A Poor Sign of Interest, she will be usable. Unlocking Slayer this quickly would be a massive for the account, but it's out of reach for now. This notice board starts the quest, but we'll need to unlock the Southern Falador farm to continue. Back to the current chunk, I explore to see what my leveling options are. Sadly, the agility course requires 10 to start, so I take a look in the sewers. There is an anvil here, which are few and far between, but we didn't invest in getting bronze bars. The drop tables for the zombies and skeletons are unimpressive as well, so it's back to pickpocketing this man. I'm sure everyone knows the drill by now, so let's cut to the chase. Something I don't understand is happening here, but there's so many people it reminds me of the old days. We immediately get the chunk needed to progress towards Spiria. Pleased with my good fortune, I don't yet realize just how lucky I really was. Before heading to the new chunk, I get a rope from Ned. I save 15 entire coins by doing the dialogue instead of trading. I'll need this for a poor scene of interest. Other than starting the Corsair Curse quest, there isn't much to do here except farm. It is at this moment I realize how precarious my situation is. The cave I need to complete a porcine of interest is in the chunk southwest of Varrock. However, if I unlock it before I unlock the chunk below it, or drain a mana, I can't actually reach the cave, and Spiria will be lost to me. By the same token, if I unlock Drain a Mana before I unlock the next Varrock chunk, Vampire Slayer cannot be completed. The stakes in chunk unlocking just got much higher. Shout out to Verf Raking Content. I'm going to use every part of this farm, planting potatoes in the allotment patches, marigolds, starting level 2 in the flower patch, raking the herb patch, and putting weeds in the compost bin to collect later. The seed store in Drainer proves invaluable. I tried getting potato seeds from the fields, and the rates were terrible. Not to mention I have no other way of getting marigold seeds. In between farming, I make a round trip to Lumbridge to pick up more runes from Mommy Magic Tutor. I end up having to use some plant cure to save my potatoes, since I harvest my marigolds. It remains to be seen exactly what I'm going to do with my farming levels, and Sarah sells compost, so the only unique produce I'm getting here are the marigolds.
Now 4, now 5, now 6.
Well, we didn't get screwed yet. The Wizard's Tower lets us get started on Imp Catcher and progress Rune Mysteries. Unfortunately, we can't do Guardians of the Rift yet, so it's back to fighting wizards for magic levels and loot. I suppose I could get a set of blue wizard robes and hat for fashion's scape. This was the first of a few deaths. I initially thought to just run back each time, but eventually I lost patience and started breaking out the wine and potato sacks. This beer actually saves me 2 coins. I'll be giving it to Dr. Harlow. Probably bears mention before now, but I'm keeping all the bones for when I unlock an altar of some kind to sacrifice them on. This chunk has been a long time coming. Unfortunately, we lose the fire altar, but that was to be expected. I'm going in for a closer look. Shops count as a source in my book. If I had the money and levels, I would definitely be cutting gems for XP. Sadly, it looks like the best option will be thieving men once again. Absolute banger unlock. We're on track for Vampire Slayer and Spiria. I just need to make a quick stop at the Wizard's Tower to pick up Aubrey's package. Now that we're finally here, the first order of business is questing. Shield of Arav and Romeo and Juliet need to be started, and we need to visit Dr. Harlow and Aubrey. It's time for both of us to hold down the spacebar, me to skip dialogue, and you to fast forward this YouTube video. Alright, now for the XP gains, we're mining Rune Essence. The number of chances I have to access the Rune Essence mine are extremely limited, and I've already lost Cedridor. By the way, there might be some confusion on the rules. After all, the Rune Essence mine is a single instance accessed from multiple locations. My ruling is that XP gained in the mine counts towards the chunk that contains the teleporter. I think that makes more sense than being locked out of the mine forever after one try. Great timing. John has some copper and tin for us, which I can use in the Al-Kharid furnace. However, before we step into the new chunk, I realize that Restless Ghost can be completed, so we're doing that for sure. Over 1,000 prayer XP is a must. Luckily, this skeleton doesn't need to be killed, so we can run escape with no XP gained. And there you have it, a 23-year-old piece of gaming history made by Paul Gower himself. Thanks for watching this episode of Banished Chunk Ironman. We've made a lot of quest progress, but the fate of the account still hangs in the balance. Have a good day, and see you next time.